You know that feeling, right? The one where you blink and suddenly another year has just flown by? It seems to speed up the older we get. Well, today we're going to dig into the actual science of why that happens, and even better, what you can do to slow it all down.
Right, let's talk about that speeding clock. It's a feeling we all share. I mean, seriously, days just blur into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, you're sitting there going, wait, where did that whole year go? And it turns out it's not just in your head. There's a really cool scientific reason for it.
I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. Doesn't it feel like the last 5 years have zipped by faster than a single summer vacation did when you were, say, 10 years old? It's a super weird feeling, right? And it all comes down to how our brains are wired to perceive time.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock for a minute. Remember being a kid? Think back to those long summer holidays that felt like they would never end. Or waiting for your birthday. It felt like it took an actual eternity to arrive, didn't it? Back then, a single year was this huge, massive chunk of time. It was just jam-packed with new stuff, new adventures, new everything. You were really in it, not just watching it pass by. And then you fast forward to today, and poof, entire years just vanish. It feels like we just finished making New Year's resolutions and boom, the holidays are here again. It's relentless, almost like you're just a passenger on a train watching life blur past the window.
So what gives? What actually changed? Well, here's a hint. It's not the clock on the wall. The real change happened inside your head, in how your brain keeps track of time.
All right, let's get into the really cool science of it. We're talking about your brain on novelty and how it runs our internal clock. And here's the secret. It has less to do with seconds and minutes, and way more to do with memories.
So here's the big idea: time perception. Your brain doesn't work like a perfect digital watch. Instead, it measures time based on how many new experiences it has to record. Think of your brain like it's keeping a diary. The more new, interesting things that happen, the more entries it has to make, and the longer and fuller that day feels when you look back.
And this right here is the whole ballgame. When you're a kid, your life is just a fire hose of new stuff, high novelty. Your brain is working overtime, processing all this new data, which makes time feel super long. But as an adult, we fall into routines. There's way less new data to process, so our brain just kind of compresses the file. And that's why time feels like it's on fast forward.
I mean, just think about childhood. It's a world of firsts, right? Your first day of school, learning to ride a bike, your first trip to a new place. It's this constant stream of brand new memories. Your brain is just soaking it all up, creating this super dense, detailed timeline of your life.
But then you've got adulthood. And for many of us, that's the power of routine. It's work, home, sleep, repeat. The commute is the same, the office is the same, the evenings are pretty similar. When everything's that predictable, your brain just switches to autopilot. It doesn't need to write down the details. And that's how an entire week can feel like one blurry single memory.
Now, if you're still not totally convinced, I've got the perfect proof, and it's something you've definitely experienced yourself. I like to call it the vacation effect.
Seriously? Just think back to your last proper vacation. That one week you spent somewhere new. Doesn't it feel so much longer and more packed with memories than, say, the last month you spent at work?
That's it. That's your brain getting a jolt, being knocked right out of its cozy routine. It's suddenly flooded with new sights, new sounds, new environments, new everything. It's forced to wake up and pay attention again, just like it did all the time when you were a kid.
And because it's storing all these new, distinct memories, it literally stretches out your perception of that time. You don't just remember that week in Italy. No, you remember that one little cafe, the view from the hilltop, that hilarious conversation. And all those individual memory pegs make the whole experience feel so much bigger and longer.
Okay, so this is the best part. Now that we know why this happens, we can actually do something about it. We don't have to just sit back and watch time fly by. We can take back control of our internal clock.
And really, the takeaway here is super simple. If you want to make time feel longer, you have to do new things. That's the secret. It's not about getting more hours in the day, it's about getting more life in the hours.
So how do we actually do this? Well, here are 4 really practical ways. You could learn a new skill, anything from cooking to coding. Travel to a new place, and hey, that could even just be a part of your own city you've never been to. Try something totally unfamiliar. The goal here is just to break that daily routine and snap your brain out of autopilot. Because as soon as you do that, your brain goes, whoa, new data. It starts recording again, creating more of those memory pegs we talked about. And when that happens,
time itself will start to feel like it's stretching back out again, just like it used to.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. It's a challenge, really. What's one new thing you're going to do this week to make time slow down? It doesn't have to be huge, just one small thing to shake things up and jolt your brain out of that routine. What's it going to be?